Hey guys, so today we are going to be answering a question by popular demand. How does the GHK GBB conversion kit hold up over over time? I believe I've had my kit for probably around a year and a half, something like that. Maybe a little bit longer. It may even be closer to 2 years. To be honest, I don't remember. I've had it a long time, and it has been used. When I say used, if you know me personally or know me well, you know that I use my guns a lot and I use them very hard. They do not get any passes. So this kit has been through a lot. It's been through countless airsoft battles. I've taken it to the field I don't know how many times, and I have enjoyed having it. Now, as you can see, this isn't a stock part, and I will get to that later. This, on the other hand, this black piece is, and that's what you get with the kit. Is you get two of these black pieces, and these are actually pretty nice parts. I'll go ahead and take this out. I've already pre-disassembled this, and anyway, so you get that, and as you can see, I also have another replacement part as well. So that may scare some of you, but don't let it scare you into not buying this kit. Just because I've broken a couple parts doesn't mean it's a bad kit. Those are the only two parts that have broken so far. And like I said, this kit has really gotten used hard. Now these are 3D printed parts, replacement parts, and I've already got the nozzle on my eBay store, so if you want to go check that out. Like I said, I've already gotten the nozzle, and these are available for sale. I believe they're like $10 right now, and that's because the inside tolerances have to be very close, and I actually have to finish them by hand, and it takes a very long time, and it's a serious pain. But they do work well, and they're a good good replacement option. This one's not 100% perfect, but this is a pre-production prototype that I have in here right now. And then, of course, the side panels I will also have available for sale, and a collection of other parts along with replacement parts of the magazines as well. So, beyond the advertisement, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how some of these parts work. So this is my original, I don't even know what it's officially called. I just kind of call it like the nozzle cover, and it's like that, and as you can see, mine's split. And that's really sad, because this is a decent part. I believe it's a zinc casting. Don't quote me on that, it may be something else. It's some sort of pot metal. It's not the best stuff in the world. In fact, I would venture to say that the nylon part that I have in here right now will probably last far longer than this, just because nylon is a lot better at handling impacts than zinc is, since zinc is a lot more rigid. It's also a lot more brittle, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, as you can see, this broke, and this just broke not too long ago. So I've gotten quite a lot of use out of this, but you can tell the FPS starts to drop when because this part's been cracked for a while, and it just finally gave up one day. But yeah, the thing is, the reason why these are so expensive on my eBay store is you see inside there, that's got to be basically a mirror finish, and that's hard to achieve on nylon, and that's what these parts are made of. Plus, nylon for 3D printer filament, and it's nylon, is extremely expensive, like really expensive. Not only that, but nylon is a really hard material to 3D print because it warps so much. You can see in this part how much it's warped, and these parts are not available yet for that reason. Only the nozzle is, because the nozzle I don't have as much problems with it warping, but they're very difficult parts to make with nylon. I'm probably gonna have to offer them in a different something else, because the nylon's very expensive and it's really hard to print. But other than that, all the other parts are doing pretty good. There is some wear. There's quite a lot of wear on these parts, but again, that's what you would expect. I mean, the bolt does come back and then slam forward, so you know, any of these parts that the bolt is hitting, and the bolt is very heavy, mind you. Yeah, so anyway, other than that, I've kept my kit pretty clean. I've kept it up well. There's not too much wear on any of these parts. There's some wear on the hammer, but again, that's to be expected. But all of this is basically in new condition. I mean, it's seen a lot of use, but these parts aren't actually taking impact, so it's not that big of a deal. However, the actual gun body that I have is metal, and that is important. I think I mentioned that when I actually did the review of this about a year ago. The gun body being metal is very important because of that impact. If you have like ABS or something, it's just gonna crack and fall apart, because the thing is, this bolt is very, very heavy and it slams forward every time you fire the gun. So you're gonna get a lot of wear, and that's just how it is. But the thing is with this kit is it's really nice because you can take any AEG basically with a version 2 gearbox in it, throw this kit into it, and it will just work. Now, that's great. Yeah, there's some tweaking you might have to do to some of the parts to get them to fit, but overall, they did an exceptional job making this kit. I love this kit so much. That's why I say, even though I've had some parts break, that's to be expected. These are airsoft guns. These are not firearms. They're not built to the same quality as firearms are. They're also not nearly as expensive as firearms are. So you really can't expect the same level of quality. And I mean, for $100, you're getting a lot. I mean, this is the cheapest, by far the cheapest option for getting a GBBR. Like, if you look at some of the other competitors, they're like $400 or so. This is a $100 kit, plus you can swap between GBB and AEG in the gun that you already have, know, and love very easily. That is just a priceless ability, and I really, really like it. That's why I think this kit really appeals to me. I would almost rather have this than a regular GBBR just because of that reason. Plus, this is super efficient because this is a closed bolt setup. Speaking of that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the magazine. As you can see, my magazine's in really good shape. There's some scuffing here, but that's just because my mag well is very tight, which is good and bad. All the O-rings are good. Of course, I've kept them well lubricated. I've taken really good care of this. I've even converted it to HPA. And this is just a regular standard compressor fitting like you'd get at Lowe's for any shop compressor. And I usually run this at like 125 PSI, give or take, and that's actually really seems to be pretty good. The kit seems to like anywhere between 100 and 125, works pretty well. Although, with compressed air, you can put more strain on the parts if you go past 125 PSI, and that's probably what did these parts in, to be honest. Although, this main part cracked right down here. That was before I converted this, so, But you do get aluminum, and somebody asked if I was going to be selling, like, replacements for these magazines. Maybe not entire replacement magazines, but definitely replacement parts. Although I haven't had any parts break, so I haven't really, had the need to do it yet. This entire project's mostly been out of necessity more than anything, because I needed the parts anyway, and I thought, well, other people probably need them too. But the thing is, overall, this is an exceptional kit, and like I mentioned, I've used mine really hard. The chances of these parts breaking are slim to none, and even if they do, even though I'm, to my knowledge, the only person making replacement parts, the parts aren't that expensive if you buy them from me, and of course I'm testing each one. They're all hand fit, so to be honest, it's really not that big of a deal. You can get replacement parts from me that are also branded Mutech. If you are curious, you can't really see it very well on the camera, but it does say Mutech on this part right there. And it also says it up here, although it's really hard to see on the white nylon. It doesn't show up well on the camera, but you can see it in person. So that's kind of cool, I think. But I mean, other than that, there's really not that much else to say. It's a really good kit. The reviews are good. There's a good reason for it. So my recommendation is definitely buy it. The kit holds up really well. I mean, as long as you take care of it. Now, if you don't take care of it, then just like anything else, you're going to get stuff breaking. You have to clean it. You have to take care of it. I mean, propane's pretty nasty anyway. If you're using straight propane and you're not mixing it with oil, you need to do that. It's best just to use green gas from a can and stuff like that. But as long as you take care of the gun, you take care of the kit, it will treat you well, and you'll have very few things break, if any. And like I said, I've had this for well over a year, probably pushing 2 years now, and I have been using it not quite on a daily basis, but pretty frequently, and it is held up. It's very reliable. It's a great kit. I would definitely recommend it, and don't let the idea of having some parts break scare you away, because remember, I mean, if this part breaks for you, it's $10 free shipping. anywhere in the U.S., or if you're not in the U.S., we could work something out. So that's really, really cheap. It's not that big of a deal, I think. And for $100, I think it's a great kit. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps you in your decision to buy this kit or not. And anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a very nice day.